Oh, welcome, everyone. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, chat.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody?
Everyone see us? Everyone. Well, the timer has asked, have you got a ticket to AVCon yet? That's a very good question. Have you got your ticket to AVCon yet? We do. Thank you, Chaos.
Shit,
Hello.
I knew I forgot something. Oh, well, good luck, guys.
I'm sure you've got boxes and boxes of tickets, like probably sitting under your chair right now. But everyone in the chat, so thank you so much for tuning in. We're here with Mowen, the president of the AVCon committee, and Vicki, the vice president of AVCon committee, and to my left, your right, is Nicktacula. Everyone in the Twitch Adelaide community will know. Yeah, so we're here tonight. We're gonna chat everything AVCon. We're gonna find out about what's in store for 2025. We're gonna talk about what we can expect, and we're gonna try and answer some of your burning questions. So make sure you've got some good ones lined up. Nick and I are gonna keep a note on what's happening in the chat and make sure that we pass on any of those questions to these two lovely people, so they can inform us and prepare us for. Oh my lord! It's next weekend, isn't it?
It's right around the corner.
The pressure is mounting. If we slump in our chairs by the end of the stream, it's just the pressure of AVCon approaching. Look, what we're gonna do? We're gonna do the real team building thing. We're gonna go around the room and introduce ourselves and talk about who we are and why we're here and what we bring to the table. So we might start with Mowen if that's okay, and then why are you here, Mowen? Let's tell us about yourself. What's your role and why have you ended up on this stream?
I am the current sitting president of AVCon, which means earlier in the year or last year, a bunch of our lovely members for TeamAVCon Incorporated decided to vote for me. Essentially, I'm the head of this operation. The roles are very ill-defined, so I kind of tend to do a lot of everything. There's a good chance that if it exists at AVCon, I've had my sticky little fingers in it in some respect. Particularly, I'm all about the opposite ends of the spectrum, so I'm sort of spearheading some of the After Dark stuff, which is our AVCon for adults, as well as sort of our kids area, which is sort of we've had kids stuff before, but there's more of a focus this year. So the adult stuff and the kids stuff is sort of some of my big things this year.
Cool. I mean, and that's actually something that's sparked some interest in my household. Usually, my wife,
The kids area.
Yeah, is at an arm's length to all the Twitch stuff that I do. She's very supportive, but lives in her own little world. But once I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. My 5-year-old has just started playing video games, and I think it was yesterday or the day before you guys put out a post on the socials about the kids area, and I forwarded that to her and said, how about you bring the boys one day? You can see what we're doing, and then they can hang out in the kids area. And she sort of reluctantly said, oh no, I think they would really love that. So that's
the general, obviously the millennial parents, all of us who grew up playing the Mega Drives and watching the Pokemons, we're all old now, and we all have the kids, and we, millennial and other sort of younger parents, we kind of want to share this stuff with our kids. Like, we want to sit down and we want to watch the shows with the kids. We want to play the games with the kids. So AVCon is a really good way to kind of make that happen.
Cool.
And it just forefronts the fact that AVCon is truly a con for all ages, literally, there is something for everyone there. And I guess probably lead into our sort of first question is what, for people who have never attended AVCon before, what should they expect and what should they be excited for?
There's a lot.
Oh, so I apologize. Sorry, Vicki, you've still got to introduce yourself properly. I just completely overlooked that.
Yeah.
Nick's had enough of that.
I'm in the chat. Yes, I'm Vicki. I'm the vice president. I'm Mini Mowen. I do the fun admin stuff mostly behind the back. I was actually voted in originally 2 years ago at the recommendation that I could rein Mowen in with his crazy ideas. But unfortunately, no, we really like to take it up like 100%. So
That's
sorry everyone who voted for me.
That's actually a 100% true thing.
Yeah.
That, she was advised that she could rein in some of the things that I
I think they really expected me to be super, like, because I used to manage our website. I came in 2021 COVID times to do things, and I was like, you know what, I really like AVCon. Let's go crazy. And it was actually at the after party I met Mowen, and we decided to run for president and vice president when the elections came. I was like, let's go, let's do this. So yes, you can see me doing the event management risk assessment and updating the app.
Really fun things.
Buying move controllers for our video games team. So.
We're gonna see Vicki sweeping between the booths over the weekend. I'm sure of it.
I'm actually the janitor for this event, so.
Do you have a special leash for Mowen just to reel him in? Like, oh wait, no, we got other stuff to do. We have important
with the height
things to do.
difference as well. You just see this like tall man being like reined in by me, just like hanging up with him like a mountain.
Oh, and Nick, you've also inadvertently given away our After Dark cosplay idea, but
oh damn it! Now everybody's got even more to look forward to. Honestly.
Oh, Nick, you and I need to change our costume now. It sounds.
Oh, well, you don't like the idea of Gimp, Waluigi, and Wario?
No. In fact, hey, Waluigi's my go-to. You've picked me. You picked me for it. Anyway, moving.
Listen, I've got a Waluigi costume as well. He's my boy. All right.
I think we'll move right along from there. So yeah, Nick's question was what can we expect from AVCon this year? What are some of the highlights? What do the punters need to be looking out for?
Wow, we have so much. So obviously we are an anime and gaming festival, so you can expect some anime in the form of things like anime screenings. We do cosplay, obviously dressing up as anime and also game, and also other nerdy characters. We have massive amounts of free play video games. We have retro stuff. We have current stuff, including Switch 2. We have retro sections. We have arcade with rhythm games and driving games and fighting games. And we have the indie games room, which is full of games developed locally in SA and Australia-wide. We have the biggest artist alley that AVCon in South Australia, I think, has ever put on. We've got tabletop gaming, so you can come and play with little plastic men. You can play cards. You can play board games. You can come and try some role play, Dungeons and Dragons stuff. We have the Elder Dragon Summit, which is our own AVCon off-brand Command Fest. So you can learn the Commander format in Magic. You can sit there and play games all weekend, earn points, and get free prizes. Oh, geez, we've got probably so much more to list. Vicki, do you want to take over so it's just not me rambling on?
Yeah, we got some pretty cool stuff. I mean, we really, last year, I think we added a bunch of new areas and returned a few things that I know a lot of people wanted, like our AV screenings. We created like a bit of an art zone that's a lot more collaborative and also has our workshop area. And this year we've been able to really dial it up and really polish it up, especially like feedback that we got last year. So like, go check out like our panels and our workshops because we've got some really good stuff. And you'll get to see them in the app very soon. We got a lot of VR as well. We've actually decked out our fleet. We got working with some cool collaborators like Zero Latency to run some cool stuff. And yeah, I think we try to make our event feel worth the ticket price. Like we don't want you to pay for your ticket and then have to pay to have fun. Our goal is to kind of not only highlight a lot of the community in Adelaide, but also interstate. And get a bang for a buck and have a really good time. The goal is for you to like run out of time before you can do everything. So that's what we try to do.
That's it. I mean, that was definitely one of the highlights for me last year. Last year was my first year back at AVCon after being away from it for the last 2 or 3 years before that. And the big highlight for me was just the sheer amount of variety of things to do and see that were there, which I think is absolutely awesome. And I think that's what really intrigues a lot of people, is there is a lot to do and see. And especially this year now with AVCon essentially doubling in size.
Ooh, I know, right?
With a second pavilion.
So last year, if you attended AVCon 2024, you might have noticed it was a little bit squishy. We had the Jubilee Pavilion. We crammed as much stuff as was physically possible, and there was just too much. There was too many people. There was too much stuff. So we went ahead and got this year the Wavell Pavilion, which is obviously just across from. It's the Showbag Pavilion for those more familiar with that. So in total, AVCon is 16,000 square meters.
That's a lot of
the biggest we've ever been, even with our old venues.
Yeah,
pretty
and
crazy.
it's one of those things. I sat down with our venue coordinator early on, and we looked at the empty map of the venue, and kind of stuck some of the stuff we had last year sort of around the place. And we looked at it and went, "Oh no, is there just going to be empty space everywhere? What are we going to do if there's just this is too much space?" It was only a month or two before we were out of room again. Before we could not figure out. We could not figure out where we were going to stop anything else. So yeah, even though we're twice as big, we've still got so much stuff that we just don't have room for anymore.
So you mentioned that it's the biggest artist alley that AVCon's ever seen. How many tables in the alley, or how many artists are attending this year? You can give us a rough number.
We know the exact number because this was a sheer coincidence. We actually have 151 artists.
Wow.
Cool.
That is awesome.
Our artist coordinator was really excited by what they could sort of work in the fact that
I bet.
I think
that's amazing.
I did see in our partner Discord in the artist channel. I don't know whether all artists have been assigned one of the original Pokemon for the weekend as the code name, but
that's so good.
So exciting.
So you said that this is the most the biggest artist alley's been for AVCon?
I think there was just over maybe about 110 last year. Vicki, do you remember exactly?
We had 100 tables allocated. We had a few half tables, so it was around 110. But yes, this year's crazy. But we didn't want to go too crazy. I think with the space we could have gone 400 tables, but then at that point you just start dissociating an artist alley. We've all been there. You run out of money. Yeah. So
I think we got
nice
somewhere in the ballpark of 450 artists apply for the artist alley this year. Yeah. So we could very easily have just dedicated the entire hall to 400 artists, but it's very important that we keep it doable. No one wants to spend 5 hours walking table to table to table to table to table. I think we've got a pretty lean, pretty exciting artist alley this year.
I'm very keen. I'm very, very excited. Artist alley, I think it's a big sort of highlight staple point for many people at pretty much every con that they go to, and a lot of people end up with very empty wallets afterwards. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm going to ask this question knowing exactly what the answer is, but I think everyone deserves to know. What does the artist alley look like during After Dark?
Ooh, I'll get my app open.
Keep it terms of service. Remember, we're going to keep it terms of service.
Have you ever been in the male dressing room at the local swimming pool?
Or that section of the fruit and veg store where it's all cucumbers and aubergines and anyway.
So, for those who don't know, obviously AVCon is a family-friendly event, and we run 9 till 5 both days. But at 6 p.m. on Saturday night, we run what's called AVCon After Dark, and we sort of don't have content restrictions. So the artist alley is sort of a free-for-all for any sort of artwork that the artists want to put out there and sell, spicy as it may be.
Yeah. I think last year I think a lot of people were testing the waters, but there were a few stalls that they just took everything out. We're like, nice. And it was crazy seeing how busy they were. And I was like, perfect. I love this. I love people embracing this.
We would sort of walk around the Artist Alley at, we call it the Midnight Lane at After Dark. And we could see like certain tables were just packed with people. We'd be like, well, what's going on here? And walk up and sort of look through the crowd and we go, oh, that's what it is.
It was especially great. It's like the clock struck midnight and then everyone just went, just flipped signs around and then all of a sudden it was all on display.
I love it. I feel like we realized how like intense some of our attendees are. We're like, we see you. Like, we're gonna do this now.
And it's really funny, like you would assume from the nature of anime, anime is sort of known for having artwork with some very proportioned women, let's say. So you would sort of assume that is what the majority would be, is the curvy ladies and the nerdy boys sort of wanting to get a piece of that action, but it actually isn't. We found the majority of the artwork at last year's After Dark was of the male variety, and the customer base kind of skewed very much female,
which was great. Yeah.
Listen, big fans of boy kissing all around the place. That's just the reality of it.
Hey, you gotta give the people what they want, right?
I think a lot of people opted in for this year, so including exhibitors, and I've heard what they're bringing, and I'm like, okay.
We have our exhibitors as well for After Dark. Like Vicki said, I think last year there was a lot of testing the waters to see, like, what is this? What can I get away with? But I think this year a lot of people kind of like, yeah, I know exactly what we're going to do.
So like rubbing their hands together like, oh yeah. And it's honestly, it's amazing because I think the one thing that has always stood out to people when I have told them about AVCon is After Dark, because when you look at every other con that sort of happens in Australia, no one does a proper like After Dark event that is integrated into the convention like AVCon does, which I think is a really, really cool thing. And that is what really mass appeal. It has mass appeal. What are some of the other like things at After Dark that people can also expect as well?
So first I want to say, like, I know we've talked a lot about some of the spicier sides of After Dark, but we do also want to note that because it's Saturday night, and we do restrict to 18 plus, there is a certain amount of it's just the kids are going home. Come out with your friends. There are no kids running around. Come and just have a drink, just play some games in peace. So that is a big part of After Dark. It's not all spicy content and titillating stuff. There is a certain amount of, it's just a good place for you to relax without families around. You can play Doom Eternal with a beer if you want. You can grab a Scotch and Dry and come and play some Magic the Gathering with your friends without. So that's obviously a big part of After Dark as well.
How God intended Magic the Gathering to be played.
That's
But though, if you want to talk about the spicier side of things as well, we do have a range of workshops this year. So we have an After Dark cosplay guest by the name of CC Viper. They're going to be helping out doing a panel on essentially cosplay and OnlyFans, the trials and tribulations of being sort of in the adult industry in cosplay. We have someone doing a Shibari workshop for those who might be interested in that sort of thing. We have some cosplay life drawing. We have a special art workshop on how to draw specific body parts or scenes. We have a couple of gossip panels about the industry and things that will pull no punches, let's say.
Love that. What can everybody expect from like types like the game stage, tabletop, and also even like the main stage at After Dark as well?
So I don't know, do you want to tackle main stage, Vicki? I know you're a big fan of main stage.
We got some spicy stuff on main stage. I think the fun thing is this year we're actually opening our After Dark up a little bit more with what we can do for cosplay. So we've got some specific rules out there, but because of that, we're introducing our cool cosplay parade for After Dark. And we also do have our big, massive Cirque de Cosplay, which is our aerial circus acts, burlesque, all the good stuff. All our performers are on the website and in the app, so you can check them out, kind of peep out what characters you're going to see. There is a SpongeBob SquarePants in there.
Yeah.
Done. Hold on, wait. How can I add it to my schedule?
Add that right now. Don't miss that.
Yeah, make sure. And that's going for 2 hours, I think, this year. Like we're gonna be
Not long enough.
trading at 10, and then everyone can go catch that for another hour. I'm so excited. I think I got to see half the show last year, and I was like, oh. It's one thing I was like, it's worth not running around for this.
Yeah, that was, I think that stood out to me. Like I was at an After Dark panel, but then seeing literally like the entire horde of everybody at After Dark just around main stage watching that, because it was incredible. It was incredible. It was like pyrotechnics and things like that. It was all popping off.
It was so good. I do have to do the paperwork for it, but it's worth it. It's worth it at the end.
It's extremely worth it. And for reference, everybody as well. So AVCon will close at 5 and then reopens at 6 p.m. That's right. Yeah.
Essentially, we have to just rejig the venue a little bit. And then, so we don't lose much. We block off some areas, but essentially After Dark is almost the full AVCon experience. So it does also work if you're just busy during Saturday. Like if you got to take the kids to sport, if you're fixing the fence, if you're seeing the in-laws or whatever, and you're going to miss AVCon, Saturday night's there for you.
That's it.
Perfect night to get a babysitter and make sure that you check out both sides of AVCon, I guess.
SpongeBob. Now you've got me so curious. You said SpongeBob. I'm just like I need to see what that looks like. And so on the topic of the unique sort of things that AVCon offers, what other unique things does AVCon offer that some other cons may necessarily not offer?
Well, I think there's a lot of cons that offer a lot of things. So obviously, you have something like in Canberra, there's CanCon, which is a big tabletop event. You've got events like an Amaga and Smash that are very into like the Japanese anime side of things. You have things like PAX that are very big on video games, very big on tabletop. In Game Expo in Melbourne as well. Pixar Expo in Perth, very big on animation and things like that. But we just do it all. So, obviously we have the anime and the cosplay and the video games and the board games and the cosplay, and we have animation panels and artwork, and we just sort of do it all. That's one of the big things about AVCon is that it doesn't matter what you're into. We've got sort of the content that covers it.
Yeah. And I think because we kind of go for a broad range of interests, it means that we can get a lot of community groups involved. So we've got over 20 community groups showcasing. And they're doing different things. Like we have the Ghostbusters, but then we also have, maker spaces that are having spaces on the floor. And it's just so cool seeing everyone kind of come together and want to be a part of it. We're just like, yes, come join us.
Please.
We'll give you space.
It's really cool because it's also a way to introduce people to these communities and these different things, and they may not have necessarily known about, or they've heard about it, not really seen or had any exposure to it, and then this is their opportunity to see it. And you never know, that person from that experience might be like, I'm gonna go and join that community. I wanna do that. That sounds cool.
That's very true. If you talk to some of the the indie games rooms, the game developers, a lot of them got their taste of game development from attending an AVCon back in the 2010s. There's a lot of cosplayers that are very high level now and get into the business. They make costumes and props for things. They got into it through AVCon. A lot of people who are artists, a lot of people who, pick a discipline. There's probably some streamers and creators out there that probably got a taste for it coming to AVCon at some point.
Well, just touching on that, I mean, I think it's a really great opportunity for both, people who are creators or aspiring creators and people who are in the indie games room to sort of cross-pollinate as well and find a sort of a bridge between the sort of two communities. That's certainly what we did a little bit of last year, and we're growing that this year, and realizing that one group can boost the other group as well. So coexisting within all of these people, you may not, in your day-to-day life, overlap with other communities as much as you would like to. But in this instance, you get an opportunity to do that, and then set up further opportunities to work with people you may not have had a chance to work with before, or involve yourself in disciplines that you may not have even considered before. I think that's a real beauty about the melting pot of a convention. That was my takeaway from last year, certainly.
Yeah, I think like things like our indie games area, like last year we decided to kind of up the game a bit, bring in some TVs. Why not? Let's do it. Like we've been trying to polish up a lot of areas that are fundamental AVCon, and kind of give them some new light to get people interested. And, we've seen that this year with a lot of applications coming in for indie games room, community groups, exhibitors, artists. It's been great. And the creator program, like, I don't think we were expecting as many as we did to come through. We're like, oh, it's going to be like 10 people interested in us. Cool.
And Scott and I being like, oh no, you guys have no idea. Like, people are hungry.
Well, I mean,
oh my gosh, that's all I wanted.
Well, I mean, touching on the creator program, maybe it's a good segue to have a chat about that. This is the first year that AVCon have opened a dedicated creator program. It's sort of had a fringe creator program, but this year it's been a bit of a focal point. And Nick and I have had a bit of an assistance with the program to get it off the ground. But are you surprised with how well it's been received?
Yes.
Yes.
we were worried that, I know initially, like you said, these two weird streamer guys came to us with this idea of expanding the stream, because obviously
that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about us, honestly.
I'm so touched.
Obviously, you came to us last year and asked about a streamer space, and I know it was very last minute and sort of like, hey, we would like to stream at AVCon, and I kind of went, I think there's an empty booth there. Go nuts. And it worked really well. So you came to us and sort of said, we think this is a really good thing. Let's make this more of a... so we've got the expanded streaming area, but obviously you need the streamers to... And the topic came up, why don't we do a creator program? Why don't we have the ability for people who make content to apply in a more official capacity? And we said, yeah, cool. How many spaces do you need to fill? You got a stage and 2 stream booths. I think maybe the number was 20 odd.
30.
And we went,
it was 30.
Yeah, 30. And we went, I think we'll be lucky to get 30. We'll give it a go. And we opened it up and it was a trickle. We did get a couple of people. And I think a couple of days later, I checked it and went, I think we've got maybe 5 or 6. Well, maybe we'll get rid of one of the stream booths or something. And time went on, it got up to 10, then 20, and then 30. And we went, cool. We've done it. Good job. 40, 50, 60, 80, 90.
150 applications later.
And it got, and it's not just, obviously, it was initially more of a streamer thing. So you guys put it in your communities and there were streamers, but then we started to get, people who make YouTube videos. Then there was people who are cosplayers. There are people who are artists, people who do, like, there's a variety of people that we didn't expect to see sort of applying for this sort of thing. Like, it wasn't just streamers. It was people who did all sorts of creative endeavors. They just wanted to, they just found it and said, wow, I can be part of AVCon if I join this program with whatever weird little niche thing I do. So yeah, it was... it was beyond what we thought it was going to be in that initial meeting in our little office we had 6 months ago.
Yeah, honestly, like it was really great to see. Obviously, we were really excited that you guys were open and willing to sort of have those conversations and sort of go on the journey. And yeah, we couldn't be happier with how it's gone from our end as well. And I think there's just so much interest, and especially from interstate, which is really cool. There's a whole bunch of people coming over from interstate.
That is a surprising thing. We kind of expected at most we might get some regional SA people, but yeah, there are people from all over the country that are going to fly down so that they can be part of AVCon.
I find that so crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think the crazy thing is like Mowen and I might be, because obviously we're the president and vice president, so we're a little bit crazy for AVCon, but a lot of our team are people that like looking at AVCon stuff online, and I think we were so hyped to see familiar names when we're like, we watched their video. Yay! They applied for us. Like, we're so excited for that kind of stuff.
Can you give us one name? Who was the one creator that really excited you?
Chunked name, I think that's their name off the top of my head. I love your YouTube videos. I know you're a baby. Keep going. I love your stuff. We watched that and we were like, this is amazing. It's crazy how talented people are. Like, oh my God. I love it.
I know there's a couple, just highlights for me, something sort of out of the ordinary. I know that there is someone who does Rubik's Cube. They do speed Rubik's Cube. And I was kind of excited by that because I don't know how to do Rubik's Cubes. And they're actually doing a panel at AVCon. If you want to know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, we're doing a panel at AVCon on it. All thanks to the creator program.
I'm so excited. I think it's crazy.
Raph,
we
right?
got so much
That's
content.
that's Raph. Raph carries a Rubik's Cube around with him at all times, just to prove that he can solve one, and he can do it extremely fast. I think sub 8 seconds. I think is sort of a PB for him.
Yeah, Raph is like, he's not human the way he literally with the Rubik's Cube. It's crazy. Mowen, you'll be happy. You would love this. So, Raph has started DJing, and in the middle of his DJ sets, he solves a Rubik's Cube.
To like pump up the crowd, he's like,
and he's just like going at it, and the crowd just going nuts. And I'm like, that is the best thing ever.
Yeah, going back to to Nick's point is like even he and I were very pleasantly surprised with the reception we've received from creators outside of South Australia, I've sort of had developed a bit of a sales pitch in the sense that AVCon sits very nicely in the middle of the year for the breadth of conventions that occur around the country, and it's a very good excuse for those people who are looking forward to conventions that are happening later in the year or starved for conventions that have happened earlier in the year. It's positioned very nicely to, oh, well, look, it's an excuse for us to get together and do this thing that we all really, really love doing. And Adelaide's very well positioned, like right in the middle of the country. We're easy to get to. We're only maybe 2 hours of flight from wherever you may happen to be. And my hope is that I do believe that this year is going to be the stepping stone for a much bigger year next year, because I think the content that's going to come out of this year, I think there might be a little bit of FOMO within the creator community, wouldn't you say, Nick?
Absolutely.
And I think that might spur on a bigger reception for creators next year. Well, certainly that's the hope from myself, but yeah. I think we're building building a bridge to something bigger in that particular program.
Yeah. The like many, I mean, like pretty much everybody involved with AVCon and many attendees as well. I think AVCon holds a very special place in a lot of people's hearts, and so seeing AVCon go from strength to strength is like an amazing thing. And with all the others that are coming in, and with all of their communities and their reach that they have, right? You're basically hitting the turbo button a million times on marketing, and it's just going to go to so many people, and so even more people are going to know about it and be like, oh, here's another con, like Scott is saying, here's another con that we need to keep on our content calendar for the year. And then start treating it as like this sort of annual thing that everybody sort of wants to travel to. That's what I really want to see come from this, and I think it's definitely starting on its way to being that with the reception from like all the creator apps and everything like that. So it's really exciting to see, and I can't wait for everybody who has never been to experience it this year for the first time.
So exciting.
What we might do, we might take the opportunity to invite anyone that's in the chat to, if you have any questions that you have for Mowen or Vicki or even Nick and myself, drop them in the chat now. Nick and I will be filtering them. If they're assuming they're appropriate, we'll put them on the table. But if you have any questions, now's the chance to get them into the chat. And
I did see one from Michael Town's game. I think After Dark will be at the exact same time as DashCon 2025. After Dark ball pit ?
Oh, I was like, we should do a ball pit. I have to go look some pool noodles for our video gaming experience, so why not?
I might have good news for people. I have to follow up, but I have a feeling we do have a ball pit.
Oh my god!
I have a feeling.
I don't know this.
I have to check with Stuart. I know early on we were looking at Olympic hire stuff, and I had the idea for the kids area. It hadn't been fleshed out yet, but I have a feeling I said to him, "Put this ball pit on the order. Like the kids would like to play in a ball pit." And that was a long time ago, and I've kind of forgot about it until this second. But yeah, there might actually be. Oh,
so the kid.
Vicki, where were you? What have you done? You've really dropped the
Why are you
ball
not
pit.
writing in these crazy ideas, Vicki? Why?
You know what's great though is I think the Kid Zone is going to become one of the bar places that like you can go get alcohol service and After Dark. So I don't know. I know about that ball pit. Like,
I was about to say, does the Kid Zone become the big Kid Zone at After Dark?
Not the ball pit.
Oh.
Yeah.
All the kids are on Sunday. Like, where's the ball pit gone? Like, oh, ball pit had to go home, kids. Sorry.
Got deflated.
We have a question from Angelic Neko who's asked us when are we getting schedules for the streamers? And the short answer to that is that you can go and download the AVCon app right now. And the schedule for not just the streaming area, but for all areas and all things happening at AVCon.
Wait, let's get it.
There you go.
Oh, it's totally too bright.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
So what you can do is you can go on the AVCon app. You can see who's streaming. You can see who's performing. You can see who's workshopping and paneling at any particular time. And you can add that to your calendar. And I think you can even get alerts for each of the events that are happening at AVCon. So that's something that you can do right now, right this second.
Super convenient.
It's really good software. Like you can plan your entire weekend now if you wanted to.
Yes.
Put it all in there.
We went a little crazy this year. We've even got like stamp rallies for Artist Alley, and I'm getting more and I'm putting them in and I'm like, yes. It's great because I'm pre-planning what I want to do too.
Yeah.
I'm like, that looks good.
Actually, that you mentioning rallies has led to a question from Goblin Does Art. Is there a list of all the rallies that are happening?
Yes. So we have a stamp rally tab in the app, but there are a few more coming because people, finalizing their final touches. There's also, I believe there's a list from our friends at Adelaide Arcade. We love them. It's actually a fandom list, so you can see all the artists that are participating at AVCon and what fandom merch they're going to have. I think there's also some stamp rally info on there. So do what you will with that. I kind of feel bad. I feel like our artists are going to like run out of stuff for their stamp rallies in like an hour. So get on that.
No, that's great. going on to I just saw a question in here, which was auction the ball pit at the AVCon auction it off, which does lead us into this, which is another really cool fun thing that happens on the Sunday afternoon at AVCon, which is the AVCon auction.
Yes.
I love it. It's so chaotic.
Yes.
So it's your chance to own a little piece of AVCon. Generally, we spend the entire year planning AVCon. We make things, we create things, and then we just sell it all at the end of the event. So I don't really think anyone's seen them publicly yet. We do the theme every year. So we've done the Power Ranger theme this year, obviously. We have actually got our amazing friends at Illustrious Models to 3D print accurate Power Ranger helmets based on our mascot characters.
I'm so excited.
You'll probably see them in some maybe promotional stuff and at the opening ceremony. And then you'll have your chance to own them if you want.
They're actually so comfortable to be in.
I'm looking forward to seeing them. You tried them on. You wore it.
We had we have our like weekly readings, and like I think as soon as they came into like Mowen's house, he's like, "Guys, we got to try this on." So it's just a photo of us like wearing them.
Do you all get it at the meeting? Do you all get it on each other's shoulders and like?
You can see that there.
I think it looks so like
that's amazing. That is the best. Well, I was just you really nailed on the head, Vicki, when you said that the auction is chaos, because for some people who are AVCon veterans may remember the year where a literal stick was auctioned for $250. The following year, where a box was auctioned, I think, for about $150 to the same person.
I love it. I was there when the $2,500 maid outfit got sold.
Oh my God.
A promotions officer wore. Like every time I'm like, how? Who has this money? I work and I'm poor, guys.
It is like no. Oh, sorry, you go, Mowen. You go.
I was going to say, AVCon is very much a community event. Like we're all volunteers, and we're all friends, and we're all here to have fun. So over the weekend, stuff happens. Like people sort of like the stick and the box. Like these are things we not planned. They were not planned at all. Like it just kind of happens. Like you have fun, things like this happens, and then you create these mythical AVCon entities. Everyone, from that year remembers the AVCon stick. Everyone remembers the year that our promotions coordinator wore a maid's outfit and then auctioned it off. Last year, obviously, we had the AVCon Sports Festival, and we had, the trophy, the Champions Cup that was sold off at the end. So the cool thing about AVCon is we're not like a faceless, cold, uncaring corporation putting on these events. We're all just kind of fans, just having fun and getting up to mischief.
Being a little burnt out sometimes, but it's good.
It's like, look, it's a busy weekend. Right? It's a very busy weekend. No, I think it was like Marcus, who was the host that year. I think everybody got sad the auction was over, and he just on a whim went and grabbed the stick, like without permission, I think, from memory, and was like, "Who wants to buy this stick?" And then everyone just went nuts, and then all of a sudden, just ingrained in AVCon history from just like that.
Yeah, well, talking about our friend Marcus, I know there was one year back in the 2010s. I was over from Canberra, where I used to live, and I suggested just on stage on a whim that he should sell his tie because he'd been in this really ugly tie all weekend. And he didn't want to, but like as soon as I said it, everyone kind of cheered, and I don't think he's ever forgiven me.
Oh my gosh! I think there's that's gonna be a really fun part this year. It's like, what random things around the con can we
What's
just
not
like?
bolted?
Well,
Let's get this.
I do remember last year that when we were packing down the booth, and we had some really nice looking signage on our stream booth last year, and we'd stuck it up against the wall, and we said, "Oh, can we just throw that in the bin?" Because they're 2.5 meters long. They weren't going to fit in anyone's car. And Mowen actually pulled me up and said, "Why didn't you auction it off?" And I said, "Who would want to buy a 2.5 meter sign?" He's like, "Dude, we sold a stick a few years ago. Like, someone's going to buy it."
Possible.
So I'm going to have to talk to you about who wants to buy a sign this year.
I mean, look, I think as well we'll try and get as many creators to sign it as possible.
Yes.
On top of that,
With the non-official creator lounge right next to it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and then
I'm going to take this opportunity. I don't know if they're out there. So when I first was nominated and became AVCon president, I ordered a mug. And I it's one of those like order a mug from one of those like cheap printing places. But I put the AVCon logo and some of the mascot art on this blue and white mug. And all through the year, I drank coffee out of it. So it powered me through all the good times and all the bad times of that year planning. And I decided I was going to auction it off as like the president's mug that fueled him through getting. And unfortunately, I didn't sort of keep track of it, but I don't think they actually said at auction what the mug was, apart from it being an AVCon mug. So if you're out there and you bought an AVCon mug from the auction last year, yeah, that was the thing that actually got me through the year and got AVCon over the line. So if you're out there, like, it's a very special mug.
Yeah, he doesn't have one this year, so you know we're not going to apply.
They've scraped it for DNA. They're in the process of cloning.
I was going to say, they can clone their own Mowen. We might have competing AVCons in a few years.
Mowen Con.
Oh, no.
Mowen Con.
Well, to be fair, we'll need to clone Vicki too to make sure that the clone Mowen will be.
Event.
It'll be the chaos, not having the admin.
Mowen Con is just Mowen sitting in the ball pit, and you just go over, you give him a high five, and then you leave.
That's a good idea for content. I'm gonna set aside an hour of AVCon just to sit in the ball pit and have people come and give me high fives now.
There you go.
Please.
We can put that in the schedule too, I think.
No, and you put that in the creator chat, and everyone will be like, oh, "Bro, I'm there." Phones and cameras at the ready. Like they'll be doing their video wrap up. It's like, yeah, I went around Artist Alley, and then I high fived the president in a ball pit, and then I went and did this.
Absolutely.
I'm cancelled.
I'm gonna put it back to the chat. Have we got any other questions that Nick and I may have missed from earlier? Now's your time to drop them in. We've only got a short time left. So if you've got any questions about AVCon, about anything that's involved in AVCon, or what we have to look forward to, now's the time to ask the questions. But yeah, look, I'm gonna bring up a topic that's a little self-serving. The streaming area this year, which Nick and I it's very close to our hearts, and that's from our humble little 3x3 booth last year. We've really scaled up to a reasonable size area this year. So we've got a stage, we've got a couple of booths, and we've also got the presence of Game on Cancer as well, who will be fundraising for the entire weekend. What was it about our presence last year that gave you the inkling that we probably needed to be there in a bigger format this year?
Well, you paid me. That was a...
Okay, sorry to say that.
It's the best $12 I ever spent.
So yeah, last year, like I was saying before, you came to me very late in the day and asked about this. So we couldn't really do a very big sort of area last year. But I know every time I walk past, because I was doing a lot of just walking around, putting out fires last year. Every time I walk past, I saw whoever was in the little booth and the little small crowd around. Some people were like standing on their phones, like watching the stream on their phone, even though they were like 5 feet away. It was kind of weird, but it seemed very cozy and it seemed very community. There was just this vibe of like these people enjoying the event and like participating in this like online presence that was going out. It was AVCon going out to the world in a sense. So it was very, very community and very cozy. So when you said let's do it but bigger, it was like a no-brainer. Let's get that community. Let's get that warm fuzzy feeling of just like sitting in the audience watching a streamer like we're all doing right now. But let's do it proper. Let's do it proper. So that's where
that's word.
Yeah, it's a very comfy thing where, if you just want to get off your feet and sit and watch someone play a game for a while, you can come in and sit at the stage. You can just pull out your phone and hit up Twitch Adelaide and see what's going on and interact with someone who's streaming to the world. It's a very fun idea. So I was very excited to get what we call the Streamcast studio up and running.
No, honestly, it's been really exciting and really cool process to be a part of. And then we're going to truly have a like really large variety of different streamers playing different types of things. We'll even be Asmodeus is going to be doing art. She'll be streaming art in the booth, and she's doing a design that's going to be really cool that you guys should definitely keep an eye on and go check out as well. But yeah, I think we were really excited when you guys said that you were so open to essentially, turning everything up to 11 for the entire space and sort of seeing what we could do with more space and more time for planning and things like that. So, and it's been as the entirety of AVCon it's been a lot of work, and it's going to be really great to see everything come to fruition literally next weekend.
I know. Oh my gosh.
I'll need to just to make sure everyone's aware that we're also bringing our own After Dark content to the Streamcast studio. We've got I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm doing a little bit during that time, but we do have some pretty blue creators, and probably the headline of our After Dark content is Always Ali, who's going to be body painting herself live on stage at AVCon. So it is as After Dark as terms of service will allow us to be, basically. So. That's so we're leaning into the After Dark spirit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know my old friend from Canberra, Ducky Boom, who I came across a couple months ago. I said you should apply for the creator program and maybe stream at AVCon. She said, "Nah, I probably couldn't. All I do is swear and drink alcohol from a shoe." And I said, "Well, have I got the event for you?"
I think we might have we've got one question from the chat, and I've got another question just probably to wrap things up, if that's all right with you guys. The one question is like, what are you all individually looking forward to the most on the AVCon schedule or over the AVCon weekend? What are you looking forward to?
Oof. So I guess mine's a bit sentimental. I don't think it's any one particular thing. I'm just excited to see our venue full of people enjoying themselves. I think that's just what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'll get the most out of.
I was going to say joust. Like, well, now I look kind of dark. Yeah, go to our video games area. We've got some really cool things happening there. But in particular, and if you've been to PAX, maybe in 2014, 15, 16, there's a game on PS3 called Joust with the Move controller. And you get to essentially fight other people, and it's not dangerous, I swear. I swear it's not. Go do that. But no, I think I'm so excited. I'm actually excited to experience the con. I don't think we're going to be on fire. We'll be good.
Right.
No fires.
No fires.
All right. If you want a more specific answer, so obviously we did the Power Rangers theme this year. I'm a big fan of Super Sentai and Power Rangers, so that was sort of mostly all my idea. And I actually wrote an entire backstory and lore to how all the Power Ranger stuff worked. But we never really got to get it out. We never got to really film anything or draw anything or write anything. But I am incorporating some of what I came up with into the opening ceremony. So obviously we have some fabulous cosplayers who have made costumes of our mascots this year, incorporating those helmets we saw before. And we are going to do like a little skit based on the lore I came up with. So I think if I'm looking forward to one thing, it's finally seeing my own live action Power Rangers play out on the big stage.
That's going to be incredible. What time will the opening ceremony be beginning?
So it is 10:30 on Saturday morning.
At the main stage.
It's basically the first thing on.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nick, what are you most looking forward to?
In all honesty, to be honest, I think Artist Alley is like generally something that I always try to like spend some time with doing. So going through the 151 Artist Alley stalls is going to be a really, really fun thing to do, and my wallet is already shivering at the thought. But also like I am generally just really excited to see the whole the Streamcast studio sort of in its full glory, and seeing all of the different streamers just doing their thing the entire weekend. So and hopefully there is not many or at all tech issues that I will have to solve and put fires out. So fingers crossed. What cameras am I bringing? Oh, we're gonna need another podcast just for that. No.
Yeah. By the way, anyone who's wondering, Luigi's our equivalent in New South Wales. He's one of the community managers, or the community manager for Twitch Sydney. So, Luigi, thank you so much for tuning in and hyping up the chat.
Dude.
I appreciate it.
You're a boost.
Yeah, look, I agree with Nick. The Streamcast studio is obviously something that I'm really looking forward to. But I always look forward to the indie games room. I love wandering my way through and chatting and networking and playing things. Like one of my favorite games from last year is going to be on our Streamcast studio stage this year, being featured by a streamer. And that's one thing that we're going to be doing, is that we're going to have indie games in the Streamcast studio. We've got a booth dedicated for the Saturday at least to streamers playing indie games with the devs, interviewing them, finding out more about the indie games, and putting it out there to the world. So that's definitely one thing we should be checking out while we're if you're tuning into any of the streams for over AVCon weekend. The final question that I've got is, how do people get tickets? What are the bits and pieces on for the weekend? And I'm not just talking the two convention days, because I'm aware that there are other things occurring over the weekend.
We have
we have a lot.
We have the four. We haven't really marketed this as much as we have the 4-day AVCon weekend festival weekend.
It's very exciting.
So we start off Thursday, the 3rd of July, is it? Yeah, 3rd of July. Yep. We have the AVCon quiz night. So you can register that now. Go register your participation. It's free if you're a ticket holder. Come and answer some trivia and maybe win a prize pack from Shin Tokyo. Then on Friday night, our friends at Hoshi Events are putting on their pre-party, which is an anime rave. So it is an 18+ event, but there will be cosplay, there will be music, there will be a beverage or two. But then obviously don't stay up too late, because we have AVCon Saturday, all Saturday, followed by After Dark on Saturday night, and then AVCon Sunday on the Sunday.
It's crazy. And you can buy tickets to our AVCon proper. We have physical tickets. I don't know if Mowen's got a copy, but they look really cool. You get to have as a keepsake. Oh. I think you gave them all to Shin Tokyo because they're really running low. So if you want to get physical tickets and you're local to SA, or you're going to be in SA Thursday, you can pick up our physical tickets. That's a weekend and a day pass. But our ticketing portals are all online at Humanitix. Please don't buy from a dodgy guy in a Facebook comment.
Ignore my Facebook. Sorry.
So yeah, that's where you can grab tickets, and yeah, there's concession rates, and we also have kids under 12 free.
Awesome.
So bring your children, make them big nerds like us.
Do it.
What else are we about to? What else have we got on offer, Mowen?
Oh, so I withdraw my previous statement. The thing I'm most excited about this year, if we those who remember Sprite the Koala, we have a limited edition custom Sprite plushies for sale.
Look at that.
That's
Look
cool.
at that boy.
Look at my son. So, yeah, like 100% custom made. He's unique to AVCon. Sprite the Koala available at AVCon.
Cool.
Yay.
That's so
amazing. Get your plushies in. Plushie lovers go crazy.
I did say that was the last question. I'm going to throw one more out to you. We did mention that there are a number of creators and people traveling to Adelaide just for AVCon. What is your number one Adelaide tip for someone who is not local or has never been to Adelaide before, outside of AVCon excluded? What is the one place or one thing they have to see, eat, drink at, whatever you feel? What's the number one?
Ooh. If they get a chance, definitely go check out the Adelaide Central Market. That is like my home. I'm Greek, so my parents definitely owned a shop there. And it's so good. There's honestly so much food there and so many snacks. And it's actually kind of affordable. We bought like a $5 slice of pizza and it was great.
I'm going to add to that. If you're in the Central Market, go to Lucia's and go to the panini store and just get a panini from Lucia's. Oh my Lord, you will.
Good.
You might need to bring a change of pants. That's all I'm saying.
The food is so fresh and so delicious. It's
so
great.
good. And also Chinatown's right there. So
I was going to say, the AVCon office is actually right next to there. We've actually had a few late night walks down Chinatown for some noodles, and so I was going to say Chinatown, but it's essentially the same place as the Central Market. So
not too far away.
Yeah. My recommendation then is to go to a Villy's cafe at like 2 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
For that.
Go to Villy's. Do it.
Yeah. If you find yourself at the Hoshi pre-party or the AVCon after dark and it's you've had a good time and you're wandering home, go get yourself a Villy's pie.
Yep. I tend to agree with that.
Yeah. Every time I go to Villy's, I get like the big V schnitty. And it's so good every time.
Chips and gravy. Chips and gravy, Nick.
Yeah, the shitty with the chips and gravy.
Oh, chips and gravy. Okay, as long as chips and gravy is part of that.
I'm not just getting a shitty on its own.
I almost had to pull you up there.
No. It's all good. It's all good. Two little last little quick things from me what is your favorite AVCon memory and what dream guest would you love to see at AVCon?
Oof.
I think I got one for the guest, but memories are hard.
Right. Well, let's start with the guest then. Let's do that one.
Go, lead with that.
Okay, my ultimate guest as of right now would be Robbie Damon. He's a Ketchu's voice actor. If you play Persona 5.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
Prompto from Final Fantasy 15. He's also, I think, he's been on Critical Role, which I'm like, no, he's going to be so expensive. But
Oh my God, is he really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
I would love to have him. Mowen, do you got a guest?
I mean, if you're talking dream guest, I know it's probably out of the possibility. I would get Eiichiro Oda who is the mangaka of One Piece. That's who I would get.
Yeah, okay.
That would be incredible.
Because then we can kidnap him and make us tell us how the series is going to end.
Give it to us.
We're not releasing you till it.
You better. Hey, guys, listen. Critical Role are currently in the country right now. Just get them to stay an extra week, right?
Oh, I'm dying to meet some of them.
Oh my Lord.
AVCon memories. I think I don't know if it's my favorite memory, but I know it is a memory. Back in the uni days, obviously the Union Hall is where sort of AVCon was born, but there was also, I can't remember what the name of it was. There was the building, and then there was also the little theater, separated by a little grassy area. I remember one of the early, it must have been first, second, third AVCon, coming to AVCon and just watching 20 odd nerds Naruto run from the Union building over to the theater, in front of all the students and other people just walking innocently on campus that day. So yeah, my AVCon memory is seeing 20 nerds Naruto run around Adelaide campus.
You know,
And
I
this
don't think
year
mine's
there'll be
any
the
better
annual
than that.
the annual After Dark Naruto run around the pavilions.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I wonder if we get access to the main arena at
That's me
should
before
start
we
doing
bump
that.
in,
I
essentially.
mean-
Like,
Let's race these nerds.
Honest, look, you know what? We're brains. Okay, I like this. We need to make this happen. This is
good.
this is.
Then Nick, you and I will be like, how do we stream this? How do we put
Yeah. I bet on the SpongeBob cosplayer to win the Naruto race.
we've got Jeff and Grace attending this year. If they were putting their hand up, they'd win by a country mile, I would suggest.
I think so. Hey, look, listen. All bet, it depends. All bets are off. Anything could happen. Literally anything could happen.
I know.
Very true.
I think they do run in Adelaide. Is it a mascot race? I think I've read the mascots from various businesses and sports teams.
I know they do that. There's an international
yeah, I think
one.
the big fruit truck comes out and.
I guess that's something that no one else has seen. We just might have a new mascot costume at AVCon this year.
Ooh.
And we have both tried it on. And it looks menacing on Mowen.
Are there photos? Because I need them.
I think you'll be able to know which one's Mowen, which one's me, because it's just like.
I don't know. I don't think I got a photo of myself. I think I got a. Oh, geez.
It's just like
Keep
long,
talking, Vicki.
long
Distract
mascot.
everyone.
Long mascot.
We've had to bring back the Pikachu.
Well, while Mo's like that, your
Pikachu.
a standout memory for you, Vicki, for AVCon.
See, mine is just as bad, but it probably happened like 10 years later after Mowen. So I started attending AVCon in 2009 when I was like a cringy 13-year-old who thought, anime was everything. And I remember I went properly in 2010, so second year at the convention center. And I remember just finding this disgustingly long line of L cosplayers, Naruto cosplayers, Haruhi Suzumiya cosplayers, all doing like caramel dancing. And there's a really blurry video on the internet of it, and it's so healing. I love that stuff. I just hope, I think Mowen and I are the same. We're like, we spent so many years being cringy at Anime Con, so we kind of want to have that space for everyone else.
I think that's a little bit how Vicki and I actually bonded. We're both fans of AVCon. Like, even if we had no involvement, we are fans of the event. Like, I've been going every year since it started. Vicki has been going every year since she first found it. You can go on the internet and search AVCon. You can find old photos, old videos, old blogs of just 20 years of cringy anime game nerds going to this event and having fun. And we've sort of bonded over that. We have sat around going on YouTube and finding old videos of the closing ceremonies and
Wayback Machine,
the number of people that have been part of AVCon and have enjoyed AVCon over the last 20 years is enormous. And part of the ethos of how we run the event is we want all these other people, all these new people to have that experience of being a cringy nerd, just discovering anime for the first time, getting into the gamer culture and dressing up in whatever with your friends and heading to AVCon and filming yourself geeking out over everything. That's sort of really what AVCon, sort of the heart of AVCon is.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, truly. I think my first year was back in 2016, I think, or 2015. And I've a friend of mine had told me about it, and I think I had gone to maybe a Supernova or something, but I'd say AVCon was the first proper con that I think I went to. and because I just, I considered myself, I was a gamer, I was a bit of a nerd, right? But then I rock up to AVCon, I'm like, I got some work to do, man. Like I've been left behind. And then I was pretty much going there pretty consistently until like obviously COVID hit and just messed the whole world up. But I think, and very quickly, AVCon became this really cool pinnacle and this annual event that I generally looked forward to because of just the nature of it. Yeah.
And it's SA Zone. Like, there are other events in other parts of the country. There are events that tour the country city to city. Each one has their own flavor and personality, but like AVCon just is Adelaide's. Like, it's part of Adelaide life if you're into, games and anime and that sort of thing. It's a shared experience from someone who was into it 20 years ago and someone who was into it, got into it last year. It's just Adelaide's nerdy experience.
And soon it'll be Australia's.
We're taking over Melbourne. AVCon.
Well, I want to thank you both for joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun having a chat to you guys about what's coming up next weekend. I hope that.
I want you to guess. So.
Oh,
is that me or is that Vicki?
There you
Is
go.
that me or Vicki wearing that?
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
I don't think even I could guess that, actually. I think was that me?
I think it's you, yeah.
Was that when I did the dance? Yeah.
Oh, we need to see that. Look, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time. I know it's we mentioned before we jumped on the stream that it is definitely crunch time in the lead up to AVCon.
Yes.
Oh my god, this video.
There you go. We're really excited to see what next weekend brings, and we're so excited to be part of it, and to hang out and celebrate all things AVCon, video game, anime, and all the rest of it.
We're so excited to have you guys. Everyone. We're so excited to see what we've been doing.
Simultaneously dreading next week, but I am so excited for next week.
It's fine. No, listen, you just gotta get. We all have to get through Friday, and then Saturday morning we're good. Just have to get through the setup.
Well, thank you to everyone who's joined the stream. Thank you for the questions. I hope you guys have had a lot of fun. I hope you have had your queries answered. And hopefully for most of you, we get to see you next weekend. So thanks so much from us, and a big goodbye, and we'll catch you all next weekend.
See ya.
Goodbye,
Catch you guys
everyone.
next week. Bye.
See ya.